27 student teams and 14 early-stage startups that joined a journey on the 1st of June to either accelerate or ideate new solutions targeting sustainable future, leaving no one behind. My name is Marie-Louise Polman Larsen, and I come from the Technical University of Denmark at a place called DTU Skylab, where we're trying to foster and inspire young people to work with innovation and entrepreneurship, not only at our university, but also very much together with other universities around the world, and support them in the journey going forward, creating real impact with their projects and solutions. I have the honor of literally moderating the whole day today, so I hope that a lot of you will be with us and create a lot of energy and excitement. I know there is a lot of teams that are really excited about being on the stage today, presenting their ideas and projects. At DTU Skylab, we have been doing this since 2018, collaborated with international summits and world congresses to bring in students, academia, young researchers and startups to showcase their projects and their perspectives on the global agendas and the global discussions that are relevant today, but also tomorrow and the future that we're all part of creating. We have joined actually a collaboration 3 years back with the UIACph23 to look at how we can also provide perspectives and ideas into the World Congress, having discussions around the built environment, architecture, inclusive societies, not only from an architectural point of view, but also from the perspectives of students of different backgrounds, from social studies, creative backgrounds, and engineering, to have a holistic international perspective on the solutions of tomorrow. We have definitely not been doing this alone. We have been backed up and supported by a number of partners, including a large range of international universities, where we have student representatives with us today to present their projects. We also have a number of foundations that have made this possible. So all the young people here have been supported with scholarships to fully support their attendance, not only at the Congress, but also during the course of June, where they worked on these projects and ideas and solutions. There are in total 125 students, young researchers, and young entrepreneurs here at the Congress that's been part of this program. They represent 8 different countries where DTU all have strategic alliances that we wanted to invite here. They are either university students, everything from bachelor to PhD degrees, to entrepreneurs that are already working on exciting solutions that we wanted to invite to this Congress to provide opportunities to showcase and accelerate their ideas. We have in total 4 sessions today. Now we're going to hear from the first 14 groups that have been working with international organizations that are all represented here at the Congress, but also have been part of ideating and scoping relevant challenges related to the Congress that these student teams are going to bring their perspectives on today. Then we're going to have a short break. Then we're going to invite the 14 startups to also come on the stage to bring their ideas and perspectives. And then we have a third session, which is focusing on inclusion water solutions as well. And then we're going to have a big celebration from 4 o'clock, literally closing the Congress Day today with the announcement of the winners of the sessions today, but also the journey that started from the 1st of June. For the first session here, I'm also really excited that we have a, I hope, both tough but also very kind panel to give feedback and sparring, but also scoring of the different teams today to give them also that learning going forward. So on the first row, which I have here, I have Jeong Park from K-Water from Korea. I have Marina from Rambøll. I have Alfredo from Tec de Monterrey in Mexico. I have Erdal from Velux. And then I have Chiara from DTU Sustain. So some of these have actually been collaborating with the students for the journey of June, and here today to also give them some perspectives on the way, but also a scoring on how well they're doing the presentations. The way that we're going to do it now is that each of the teams are going to get 3 minutes to present their ideas. Some of them have models, all of them have a few slides. Then we're going to have a 2 minutes Q&A session where the jury panel can give some reflections and some questions to the teams. The teams are going to have a handheld mic, they're going to have a clicker. If it doesn't work, then please be patient, it will work. And we're also going to be very strict with the time because we have a lot of projects today. So Gabriella here is going to help me do the timekeeping. So when there's 15 seconds left, she will raise her hand so you know, okay, we need to wrap up. And at 3 minutes, we'll ring the bell here because we need to be really strict today, and that's also part of the learning to be presenting. I know that the teams are really excited and anxious, but I also hope that you have a lot of good energy and support to really embrace this learning experience that it is for all of them to show their projects that they've been working hard with. So without further ado, I want to introduce the first team that's been working with Velux, and they come all the way from South Africa. Please give a big hand to Eco-Haven.
They say that history only tends to repeat itself. But what if you could unleash the future by reshaping the past? If you had the past, the present, and the future at the very edge of your fingertips, what would you do with all of that power? Good day, everyone. My name is Arqnómadas, and I stand here representing South Africa, Eco-Haven, all the way from the sunny South Africa. Eco-Haven, all the way from the sunny South Africa, in which... It's not moving. Can we start over? And I stand here representing Eco-Haven all the way from the sunny South Africa, but I'm not alone. I also have my teammates, Mr. Bantumbele and the gorgeous Ms. Thengi Wengubane. And after 25 years of democracy, 25 years of freedom, our past is very much evident in our present, as during the apartheid regime, the government had given preferential treatment to certain racial groups. Therefore, they were allocated land that was much more abundant in resources, and while there were other racial groups, they were discarded into desolate places. And it's because of this that informal settlements arose as a consequence of a rural to city migration in search for better job opportunities that has left them poverty-stricken. And it is within these informal settlements in which we find our target audience, as they are also inevitably one of the largest contributors to one of the unsustainable ecological and environmental practices. But in an effort to leave no one behind, the government does provide free housing in the form of RDP homes. But these houses do fall flat in terms of providing a much more holistic and sustainable approach into alleviating many of the challenges that are faced by these resilient communities, such as food insecurity, thermal conditions, as well as indoor and healthy indoor environments. Now, in keeping with the theme of the Congress question of how might we build and design homes that are much more sustainable for the indoor environment as well as the environment outside, we came up with Ecoponics, or Eco-Haven rather, solar blinds with an aeroponics system, in which our solar blinds, as you can see with the diagram right here, they harness energy from the sun and convert it into electricity that powers the motor that enables for the nutritious water to be sprayed into the planter boxes, enabling the leafy greens to be able to grow vertically without the use of soil. Now, this is a diagramical representation of our system. As you can see that as the mist actually arises, it enables for a much more natural cooling system. We're looking to partner with the relevant governmental departments in terms of implementing this standalone product and design in existing as well as upcoming RDP homes, as well as eventually venturing into parastatals as well as the private sector. Again. This is our roadmap in terms of the strategic implementation that we're willing to go to in order for us to actually eventually reach commercialization. We are currently asking for corporate social environments in the form of financial environment, mentorship role, as well as incubation. And these are the social development goals in which our system is actually aligned to, with emphasis in terms of zero hunger, good health, as well as industry. Now join us in terms of unleashing the future by reshaping the past, in building homes for the future, for the people, and by the people. We thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Very well presented. The clicker works best if you point at the laptop, so we'll do that afterwards, but don't worry, we had your time. So now it's a chance for the jury here to maybe have a few questions or reflections, something to clarify in terms of the solution. I believe you have the handheld mic here. Yeah. Anyone wants to start?
I can start, okay.
Chiara, yeah.
Hi, Chiara. My name is Chiara, and I would like to know whether you know the realization potential of this technology. I mean, is it something that have you tested it, or do you have some, yeah? What did you do to the design, and then also to test that design will work in the context in which?
In terms of the prototype, this is still at ideation stage, but we do want to work with regards to the relevant faculties from our universities, as they are willing to actually support us in terms of the development of the prototype. And if you were to look, may I please get the first step? Yeah, if you were to look, even with regards to affiliating ourselves with the relevant department governments, they actually do provide funding in terms of the development of the prototype, and associating ourselves again with the research and development aspect of it, the organizations in our country. So, yes. Next question.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have a dude. What's the relationship between that? You talk about the migration, housing, low cost, and how that this kind of windows can help us to the big problems about the people that migration from the city that you're talking about before when you start your presentation. What's the relationship between the solution and the problem when you start talking about it?
Okay, thank you, sir. Basically, we're trying to provide context in that regard in terms of how informality or the growth of slum dwellers came about in South Africa. And then in terms of the challenges that are found within the informal houses, is that then because of the RDP, in terms of the design, it is not sustainable for human settlement, and the health conditions within the house itself are not good. In terms of even if you look at the average household size in the house, that is why we speak about the aeroponic system to help with the air cooling and the ventilation system within the house itself. So the problem is the unsustainable environment within the house. That's a problem we are trying to deal with. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. 2 minutes is not a lot for the Q&A, but please give a very, very big hand to the team. All right, so from South Africa, we go straight to Ghana, to the next team, to the Green Crew. Please give a big hand to them as well.
Okay, so we are the Green Crew presenting our project on culturally inclusive, intergenerational sustainable homes. And our project is titled Ebusiafie, which is an Akan dialect, which is an ethnic group in a part of Ghana, and it translates to family house. So in Ghana, intergenerational homes are actually termed as compound houses, and they account for over 50% of the housing types in the country. Now, there are different variations across the region or across the country with different shapes, different configurations, and I'm sure what you are wondering is, so what exactly is the problem? So in current times, individualism, westernization, and the weakening of familiar ties have led to the youth, among other individuals, not wanting to patronize the compound house. So our solution is to look at the way that we can redefine the compound house by reconfiguring it and then addressing certain issues, especially when it comes to the issue of privacy. So we created a single unit that can be scaled up and out, we provide selective participation for the individuals to choose when they want to participate with other individuals, or if they would like to stay within their own area, they can do so over here. So we also looked at the different configurations we can look at, because we are looking at inclusive intergenerational spaces. And so for families, we looked at grandparents and grandchildren. It could be individuals and their elderly parents, or it could be a group of friends, because to us, family is not just about blood relations. So we looked at 3 major components in approaching our challenge, which is healthy spaces. We used rammed earth as our major material source, which is 100% natural. It is earth technology, and it has thermal properties that help to keep the indoor environment cool. We also looked at inclusive design by providing for 24 individuals versus the 16 to 18 that the current compound house actually accommodates. And in terms of circularity, the rammed earth material has a 10 years maintenance span with, it is 100% recyclable and then reusable. So here we have a short video of our project. We call the Ebusiafie the home of the future. So we selected a community within an area in Kumasi, which is where the Akan people are mainly populated. Each unit is about 100 square meters, the single units. And we made use of louver blades, bamboo blinds to help with airflow ventilation, and to also make the area affordable and cost efficient. We utilized pallet boards to allow for the furniture to be reconfigured, and then also to allow for easy adaptability of the space. It was important to us to include children in our design, so we made sure to have build a community where there are play areas, commercial areas, among other things. So that's the commercial area. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. And I see you also have a model here illustrating the project. So over to the panel. Some questions. Yeah, we have Erdal here from Velux.
Hi guys, amazing and nice video also. We talked a lot in the process about the local needs. How much thought have you put into this solution also being replicable in a European setting or another setting?
Yes, so the material that we are using, which is the rammed earth, actually works in different climates. So it works in such a way that within a hot climate, it keeps the indoor cool when the outdoor is hot, and if it's a colder climate, it keeps the indoor warm while the outdoor is colder. So that's how it works, and that's how it can adapt to different climates or different situations.
Yeah, Chiara?
Yeah, it's just in terms, again, about implementation. How do you intend to bring it on? I mean, this is a conceptual level, so when do you go into put it into practice? What do you think, which type of network are you thinking of, and how realizable in terms of investment and so on?
So in 2022, Ghana had a global green building summit, and the government is actually into green buildings. So in case we will implement it, so we will contact the government, the traditional authorities, and would work with it. It's very viable.
That because we had so little time to actually produce this, what we want to do is develop it further and detail it further. And then also, we are from the university, so we want to develop a prototype that can be used for staff accommodation, at least first, as a pilot project. And then we can, move on to other communities from there. Yes.
All right, so thank you very, very much, and please give a big hand. So from Ghana, we go to Denmark, to Team Atmosphere. Please give a big hand.
Our vision is a world with sustainable homes that provides a healthy and inclusive indoor environment. With Atmosphere Plus, we combine ancient methods for natural cooling and ventilation in an affordable, sustainable, and low-tech way. It's made for everyone. Have you encountered this situation before? The increasing frequency and intensity of heat waves due to global warming pose challenges for maintaining a comfortable indoor environment. Comfortable is this definitely not, and I think in terms of daylight, it definitely needs the help of our design team. Air conditioning, as we know it, can't be the only solution. It's not affordable for everyone, and the International Energy Agency predicts that by 2050, the global electricity demand for space cooling will have tripled. This significantly contributes to the greenhouse gas emissions. So within the Velux challenge, we asked ourselves, how might we design and build the homes for the future in a way that they have a low impact on the environment and at the same time provide inclusive, healthy indoor environments. With Atmosphere Plus, we focused on natural cooling, ventilation, and the use of daylight. We combined two ancient methods, but how do they work? So, evaporative cooling, I'm sure we've all experienced it when wearing a wet t-shirt on a hot and windy summer day. Atmosphere Plus leverages the latent heat of vaporization as the hot and dry air from the outside flows across the moist fabric, which provides cooling for the interior. The Venturi effect complements evaporative cooling by channeling wind through narrow passages. As the wind flows through these channels that you can see over here, the existing ventilation, such as cross ventilation, is enhanced as the breeze gets accelerated. In terms of materiality, we want to promote circularity and minimize the environmental impact of our concept. That's why Atmosphere Plus is made from reused fabric. So if we now look at the function, the materiality, the easy assembly and maintenance of the concept, we can say that Atmosphere Plus significantly improves the indoor well-being in an inclusive way. Thanks to its scalability, we can cover a big target market ranging from individual homeowners to commercial spaces and public institutions. So please join us on our mission to improve the indoor climate in an inclusive way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, and on time with your presentation. Reflections, questions from the panel? Yeah, Marina?
So in which phase are you guys now? Could you test it, or where did you stop, and what are the next steps?
So hello, I'm Anastasia. So we've now we have set up a test for the near future, in which we're going to use a control room, in which we're going to measure the temperature without and with our prototype, our product, and we already have scientific papers which proves that after testing in fabrics, this solution can decrease the indoor temperature up to 9 degrees.
Okay, impressive. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hi guys. Maybe a more low practical question. So can you elaborate a bit on where does it sit in the building? Is it only on the surface? Can it act as an extension within a room, or just a little bit more about the usage inside the building?
Regarding the implementation, it could be as a product in front of a window. It could work also as a dividing wall. And regarding the scale, it could be implemented in individual homes or in schools, having the possibility the children to interact with this natural cooling, and also in commercial spaces also. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, and please give a big hand to the team from Denmark. With, I think, the biggest prototype that came out of this collaboration so far. Yeah, let's just go. So from Denmark, now we go to Mexico for the last team that's been working on the Velux case. Please give them a big hand to Revita Roof.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here representing our team and our solution, Revita Roof, which is a modular roof that provides a healthy indoor into vulnerable sectors. And first, today I would like you to imagine a future with climate change. It may not look as positive as you think, as we are facing rising temperatures, less natural resources, increasing energy consumption, all which leads vulnerable people becoming even more vulnerable. In Mexico alone, a staggering 38% of population is living in inadequate conditions, marked by factors such as inefficient lighting, poor ventilation, non-durable materials, and a lack of thermal insulation. We decided to focus on transforming existing spaces backed by surveys and data indicating that 80% of population needs improvement or extension instead of entirely new houses. By identifying common elements and shared problems, we reintegrated them and repurposed them to create our solution, Revita Roof, which is a modular roof composed by different elements and multiple layers in the roof to provide insulation, incorporate local and recycled materials for like metallic sheet, and a wooden structure with efficient joints for easy assembly. It has three main guidelines, that is natural light and ventilation, insulation, and flexibility. And due to its design, it can be placed and have different configuration and arrangements depending on each specific user need and budgets and materials. We ensure cross ventilation and ample light, even or regardless of any existing boundaries in the space. And by reimagining the roof, we are not only providing a protection, but also a sustainable source of comfort and well-being. As affordability is a must, we did a comparison with a concrete slab and Revita roof, and the results were that it's 70% cheaper than a typical concrete slab, and it also represents a huge saving in the long term as it decreases energy consumption. So what's the next step? We aim to expand our team and to seek support from Mexican governments for the found of the solution, and also due to Revita roof's adaptability to context, budget, and materials, we would like to form an international network of collaborators. And as a collective effort, we aim to advocate for changes in existing regulations and a proposed guidelines for the houses of tomorrow. With Revita Roof, we provide a healthy indoor for all, fostering conscious communities that leave no one behind. It's time to transform for people, the planet, the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please give a big hand to the team from Mexico. So let's hear. Are there any questions or comments from the jury panel? We have the mic there.
Sorry. In terms of, locations, the context in which, is it poor area, rich area? Of course, it looks not rich, but how? What type of context did you, focus on?
Well, we focused on the vulnerable sectors placed in Mexico, and we did a real study case in the central region of Mexico, which is Mexico City and Puebla. And we have there in the sheets, we have the real case scenario in Puebla. So yeah, we can say our proposal is placed or made to be a low budget proposal in Mexico.
And these people have the possibility of investing on such type of structures, or they usually do? Or?
Yeah, we did the cost comparison, and they usually build with concrete slabs. So
and they would do that with concrete?
Yeah, so we are comparing that, and also there are existing funding programs, like housing programs, so we take that into consideration.
All right, a final comment?
Thank you.
Thank you. Please give them a big hand. And the clicker. And just to inform those of you that are joining now, these are all student teams that have been working since only the 1st of June on projects together with international companies and industries and organizations. So the work that is reflected today is only the work of a 3-week summer course that they have taken at their university. And they all started with similar challenges, but coming up with very different and maybe also even complementary solutions and ideas to the same challenges. Now we'll go from the challenge partnership with Velux to Rambøll and Henning Larsen, that has also been a partner proposing a challenge focusing on regenerative societies and system thinking. So here we stay in Mexico to the next team, Tequio, and the stage is yours. Please give them a big hand.
Hi, a pleasure to be here. Well, according to the UN, almost 2 billion people worldwide live in informal settlements. And one of those is La Campana neighborhood, which is in the central part of Mexican metropolis. Here you can see the hill. Campana neighborhood and its inhabitants work so hard for decades to get settled despite the topography and to get basic infrastructure by their own, building a strong sense of community. Unfortunately, a community that's not visible and segregated from the city, it's a perfect place to hide for criminal groups that invaded the place and the area for almost a decade. And we know the consequences of violence, and among all those consequences, younger generations grew apart and detached from the community, almost careless for what happened to the surroundings, and due to the vulnerability, here its inhabitants are more prone to school dropout and time poverty. So I want you to be in somebody else's shoes for a moment. Imagine that you have to walk in this street and daily you have to commute 4 hours to a work, and when you're returning home, and even if you forgot to buy something, here food and groceries are 35% more expensive due to the accessibility. So this is not something superficial that it's going to be fixed by a few interventions. It has to be something that is systemic, that is self-sustained, that has to work with the community in an horizontal way, creating and encouraging participation. So why no is working here? How can we achieve decent welfare while we addressing the issue that this is a dangerous community, because now it's not? So how can we regenerate the social fabric in this community? Our regenerative communitary network called Para Encontrarnos, which means to find each other, encourage and supports inhabitants who want to get better jobs while restoring their ecosystem, leaving positive impacts. So we are creating intergenerational encounters to reduce economic boundaries and to promote our culture of restoring the biosphere. Para Encontrarnos will be the bridge between the community and the stakeholders. So the main essence of the system is to exchange knowledge back and forth with all of these actors. So here, people will have the expertise to work or to create entrepreneurial ideas and to work with enterprises that pay for their innovative solutions. So as Jane Jacobs once said, cities has the capability of providing something for everybody only because and only when they are created for everybody. Thanks. We are Para Encontrarnos team, Rodrigo, Sofia, and Isabel.
Please give a big hand. Thank you very much. Some reflections or questions from the jury panel? Maybe Marina representing Rambøll, yeah.
All right, so I know you guys, so I know in deep the idea. Congratulations, that was amazing. And what do you think is regenerative about your idea? What innovations do you guys bring for this regenerative thinking?
Hi, thank you. I'm Rodrigo. For the regenerative thinking, we start with the community. How can we regenerate our communication with each other? But at the same time, how can we build up this community with projects as water harvesting, biomaterials, culture? So with it, people can enjoy the way of learning and at the same time having this income for creating more opportunities in their own experiences and in their own neighborhood.
Thank you very much. Chiara? Yeah, Erik?
Hi guys, very purposeful mission, so congratulations on the start. This is a huge thing because you have to change structures and they're difficult and you have very many ambitions, but where do you start? Where does it all begin? Can you explain a bit on the thoughts there?
Yeah, like our school has been working in this settlement for most of 10 years. So we have a path that has been already gone, but it's not almost. We have a lot of NGOs and more than 30 projects working already that they are not having this system already. Like they are working apart and they do not have communicate with each other. So by creating this bridge, being this bridge with all the NGOs, government, academics, and also entrepreneurs, how can we build up this thing?
A very fast question. In terms of investments, how do you plan to get this? Because it costs money, time, and a lot of need of starting up. If you have entrepreneurs, so how that would work?
We right now in Mexico there are projects of water harvesting and also aquaponics that they are working on these kind of settlements. One example is La Urbana that they already have working here but not in a massive program. So we are trying to involve all these NGOs and being part with our academic program.
So you're connecting these investments that are already okay.
All right. Thanks a lot. Please give a big applause for the Mexican team presenting. I'll take the mic. Yes. And we'll quickly go to the next one that also worked with Henning Larsen and Rampel all the way from Korea. So Localinsa, the stage is yours. This is the clicker, this one. Yeah. Please give a big hand first.
Hello everyone, I'm here to present our project Localinsa, online platform where expats living in Korea can be experts of their local neighborhood knowledge. So this is an online platform where you share the local activities as an expat living in Korea and get credits for what you contribute to making a more inclusive local society. There has been like a huge urban decline of Korean cities, of these old town neighborhoods. More and more young adults are coming to metropolitan cities like Seoul, where there's isolation and exclusion from the very good social community. So we focus on expats living in this country because the number is growing, the interests are there. Many expats living in Korea want to have a meaningful job and live a long term in this country, but there has been limited public and private services who can help them out. So we are going to make a more inclusive platform where you are not going to be left behind even though you're a foreigner who's not fluent in Korean. We are also going to empower them with the educational sessions, workshops, consultations, and paid content creation opportunities. We also would like to make them, with all this, contribute to local revitalization with their content creations. We tested this idea with social media, with international students who are living in the Korea University neighborhood. The social events was so high in demand, it was really successful, and we were able to see this rise of the awareness of the neighborhood they live in, and also an increase of the social communities and friend groups. So we decided to continue our journey and made this demo platform where you can create the contents of this, what to enjoy in this local neighborhoods, and get the credits for what you post on this platform. Localinsa is different from the similar platforms because we are a multinational creators platform where you are not going to be excluded even though you are foreigner who's not fluent in Korean, because you can post everything in English. Also, we would like to utilize the opportunities such as the government funding opportunities that's targeting more increasing number of expats coming to Korea, when we make sure we open up more workshops, funded tours, on those activities for them to join. So we have opened the social media to increase awareness and to attract more targeted groups of citizens to our platform. So you can check our demo video on our LinkedIn and also on our YouTube. Lastly, you can scan the QR code to check out our demo page and also follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Don't miss out your chance, follow us, don't miss your chance to experience the really good expat-led Korean local neighborhood tour when you come to South Korea someday in the future. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Please give a big applause. And then we'll give the panel, the jury, the mic. Some questions, comments? Yeah, Marina?
Congratulations. And what are the next steps for you in your idea?
Well, I think that next steps will be trying to integrate more to society, because this platform is still starting, it's still on the first steps. So we need to encourage more expats living in Korea, more students too, because there's a lot of graduate students in South Korea that are international like me. So try to encourage them to join this platform, and mostly to integrate and create a network within. So yeah, I think those are the next steps right now.
Also, we would start to attract more of them by giving more funded local tours, because we are trying to gain attention from the Korean provincial governments who would like to fund us, because they want to attract more citizens to come to travel their cities. And we are, that can be our first steps to attract more people to our platform.
All right, final reflection, comment? Yeah, Alfredo?
Thank you. Why did you decide that a digital platform can be the route for to solution the problem that you say about the inclusive, etc.? That don't become a problem also when you are only finding the platform, digital platform, the solution of this kind of situations?
So we try some of the offline events, meetups, and I mean, together with all those offline events, we also wanted to utilize this online platform, because this can include also some of the people who are more introverted and who would feel more comfortable contributing with this digital platform where they don't really want to show in front of everyone. So it can include more of these people, also including Korean nationals. Who would be shy to mingle with a group of foreigners when they meet offline. So we choose the digital platform with that of the reasons. If this is making any sense.
All right, thanks a lot. Please give a big hand to the team from Korea working with the Rambøll and Henning Larsen challenge. So from Korea, we're going to go to the first team from Colombia, Arqnómadas. Please give a big applause, and I hope that you can put all your prototypes here.
Okay, hello everybody. This is how our tropical country sounds like, but actually not everything sounds that good. Some communities in Colombia have to face the fact that live without a bathroom, so try to figure how hard it would be pee on that chair or pee on that tree. That would be weird, right? Well, so based on that, is we are working on this project, and we designed this compost toilet and harvesting rainwater systems just to scale and improve their quality of life, providing them with a design that is ecological low cost, easy building, working with traditional techniques and local materials. So our main idea was like to create this sustainability solution for them. So our main idea is like to introduce, to collect the human waste, take it back to the nature and go back to the air again. So we're trying to figure how easy it would be for them to use this toilet. So we're trying to make them create a system that they can use without any problem. Actually, they can do it by themselves, and using these materials, local materials such as wood and bamboo. And we can see this is the current situation. This is the community that's living there.
So, we hope you all want to know how it works. Actually, it's a very simple process where you just need to use the toilet according to the logic of a dry toilet, and then you have the waste chamber to collect out and store all the waste. And when the chamber is full, you just need to open it and extract all the waste for using in agriculture once it has been composed. Regarding the harvesting rainwater system, it is important to emphasize that it is only designed for showers and sinks, not for the toilets. This system consists in a roof sloping toward the center and 2 tanks store the rainwater. But what about regeneration? We have 3 principles guiding the project. The first one is rural life as another type of urban life. The second one is re-inhabitation process as a way to recover the relation man-nature. And the last one is a closed loop for use the waste to create something new. Regarding the next steps and our call for action too, we have 3 ways to continue to develop our project. The first one is to propose a budget to encourage the community to seek for financing. The second one is to invite the community to co-create and building the project. And the last one is to design an instruction manual to teach them how to use it. Thank you. We are Arqnómadas from Colombia. I'm Ana.
Thank you very much.
I'm Viviana.
Thank you very much. Please give them a big applause. And we'll hear if the panel jury here has any questions or comments. If you have the mic there. Yes, Erdal.
Hi guys, nice solution to a problem I didn't know existed, but you write budget and next steps, but who's financing it? Who has the incentives for creating this solution?
Our client is, the user is the communities indigenous, but our clients, we think that is the government and ONGs and university research, something like that.
Right, Chiara?
I mean, do you have contact with these communities already? And do you know that they're interested to this?
Yeah, actually, we went to the Embera community. It's a reservation located in South Colombia, in Dobio. We went and we make a visual diagnosis about their supplies, their needs, and we noted that they didn't have any public service. So this is like a solution, alternative for improve the quality life of this community and any community in Colombia that is in that situation.
But do you think the government will be interested in investing on this, or do you have any expectation that something will make them realize that this is important?
Yeah, actually the government has like a budget to support those communities, but there's a problem because they are not using the local materials. So there's a way like they are changing all that tradition. They're using systems or they're using spaces that they've never known before. So we're trying to, like that change that reality and make them feel like home.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah, final comment?
It's important to us to make
keep his culture, their culture, is something huge for our country.
Yeah. And with that, please give them a big applause. And I know you've been working hard on building the model also to be ready today, very late hours, so also congrats on that. From Colombia, now we go to Denmark for the next team that's been working with Henning Larsen and Rampel. All right, please give a big warm welcome to the Danish team.
The world around us is changing faster and faster. This year alone, we have recorded record temperatures in the Atlantic Ocean. We're in the middle of a biodiversity crisis, and our cities are experiencing more and more extreme events. This also means that we need to move a goalpost. We can no longer set the goal to be sustainability. We need to go beyond that. We need to make our goal regeneration. We need to help our Earth heal. Hi. On that note, we are the Urbanators, and this is what we are working on. We want to make our cities regenerative. Oh, that's nice. Looking into this research, we found 3 main things that are the issues for why we are not already doing regenerative cities. And funnily enough, technology was not one of the main 3. Firstly, the building industry is a very conservative industry, but everything right now is changing so fast. We need to educate ourselves quicker and quicker, and we need to adapt and take action. Furthermore, many projects are still thought as silos. They're not integrated into the cities as holistic systems, because everything in the city is integrated together, so we need to think it beyond silos. Thirdly, regeneration is not a new concept, but it's been very philosophical. We don't have time for that anymore. We need to take action. So, our mission is to make regeneration the default in any project through educating decision makers and to act and implement that through a gamified collaborative experience.
Hi, so our solution, we've come up with Regionopolis. It's a gamified learning experience intended to educate, spark discussion, inspire change, and change perspectives. Regionopolis is about how you can go from a post-industrial city to a regenerative city. It is a strategic and collaborative game, and it can be played by anyone, anywhere. You're probably thinking, what do I gain by playing a board game? And in a second. So first of all, it inspires change. Players that play a board game are more likely to take risk in the game, and therefore they could translate that out of the game. Second of all, it encourages holistic thinking. So in the game, you have to consider all the different aspects and all the things and how they affect each other when making decisions and building. And by doing so in the game, you could take that outlook outside the game. And third of all, action. So the game has these action cards that are based on real regenerative projects and from all over the world. So you can take these actions, both play them in the game, but also use them for your projects, either as inspiration or examples. And so I'm Hajar, I'm studying Masters in Architectural Engineering. This is Andreas, he's doing Design and Innovation. Ariana, she's doing Sustainable Energy. And together, let's make our future projects regenerative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and on spot with the time. All right, Marina. Oh, that mic, yes.
Congratulations, that was very nice to hear. And who is the game targeted for?
So the first iteration here, for good reasons, because it was designed for Henning Larsen and Rampel, we are deciding to target consultants, but also decision makers. So to educate internally the people who are making the decisions for what our cities are going to look like. Because it's very difficult to go out and say to a client, we can do this and we can take this action if we don't know already, us as architects and engineers, what we can do. So that's the first target. But it is also meant to be a boundary object that you can bring into stakeholder discussions so you can challenge your solutions when you go into these discussions. So first you learn and then you bring it with you to the client.
Thank you, guys. 2 questions. Firstly, I'm going to be the very unaesthetic guy and say why a physical solution and not a digital? And 2, would there be a kind of prolonging of this idea to reach a broader audience of normal inhabitants and
Yeah, so this is definitely the first iteration. And the reason why we went with the physical model is we find that when we have people who need to learn together and work together, that often inspire more discussions when you have a tangible object that you can discuss around. Furthermore, we are not software developers, so it was more easy for us to do this. Secondly, this is definitely also a first iterations. We're looking more into here creating a generic version that could be used as an educational tool, but you could definitely adapt this going further to specific projects with specific solutions and gamify that with your client as well. That's definitely the goalpost.
All right, thanks a lot. Please give a big applause to the Danish team. And I know that you actually developed the whole game with all the little brackets and everything. So if you're interested also later on, you can go to the stand behind there and maybe you can get a glimpse of the full game. It's really exciting. The last team that has been working with Henning Larsen and Rambøll on their challenge on focusing on regenerative societies and how do we take the step forward here is the team from Kenya, Eco-regenesis. So please give them a big applause and welcome them on the stage.
Wetlands provide very vital role in urban areas, flood control, biodiversity restoration. Good morning. Praisey, a team member of Eco-regenesis, together with Stephanie and Geoffrey, with a background in architecture and urban planning. Eco-regenesis uses Kibera informal settlement as a case for wetland restoration. Kibera experienced quite a number of challenges, including water pollution, flooding, health risks, and limited livelihood opportunities due to wetlands degeneration. The wetlands are degenerated because of lack of infrastructures in these neighborhoods. The residents direct their grey water and the black water to the wetlands. As Eco-regenesis, in response to the challenge of urban regeneration, are proposing an integrated nature-based solution, including constructed wetlands, community biodigesters, multifunctional green spaces, permeable pavements, and ecosystem ponds. The constructed wetlands are helping to address the issues of grey water by treating the grey water, which is recycled back to the houses. Part of it goes to the fruit garden and also the grass belt. In the multifunctional open spaces, we have a grass belt immediately after the wetlands, and we also have a fruit garden. In the fruit garden, we have avocados. The avocados are used for the subsistence purpose and also for exporting for the community. Our community biodigester is helping addressing the black water. In the process, they're able to generate biogas, which is a source of renewable energy for the residents. Currently, they're predominantly using charcoal. It can also help in issues of climate change. We have the ecosystem ponds. In the ecosystem ponds, we have different species of fish, which encourages ecotourism for the benefit of the community. With the implementation of these strategies, we will be able to enhance community resilience and also restore the biodiversity of the area. As well, improve the health of the residents in this neighborhood. With the restored wetlands, we can have other activities such as boat riding, swimming, and fishing, and in the process, still use the water at any seasons in the area. As a team, we intend to outsource other expertise, such as engineers, to help us in installations of the constructed wetlands, the biodigesters, and the ecosystem ponds. We welcome you to partner with us as we make it implementable. Thank you.
Thank you very much for our on-time presentation again. Yeah, any questions or comments from the jury panel here?
Yeah, I do. Do you have some potential of, already finding investments on this? And whether how do you think that is in the, long-term potential for implementation in the sense that how the community could be responsive to this. Okay, cool.
Okay, so currently there is an ongoing project by the UN Habitat on regeneration of Nairobi River. Considering our context is the Nairobi Dam and Nairobi River, we're planning to join forces as our part of a CBO and consultancy with expertise to advise and to use the nature-based approaches to address this issue. So we are starting from an informal settlement context, going macro to the city.
Yeah, Alfredo?
Yes. Thank you very much. I have the road between the problem and the solution is not so clear. As urban planning, we know that the process is fundamental to get it. How is the idea that you have between the problem that you show us and the solution that you show with the master plan only? How long the time? What happened with the process along the time? That what not happen in the short time. You need a process. You need time to do like something like that. Yeah.
How long will it take and what type of measures?
Okay.
Collaboration with other entities?
Yes, definitely. Since architecture and urban planning needs a lot of planning, such as developing an integrated plan, so our first call of action is collaborate with expertise such as environmentalists and ecologists and also sustainable engineers to verify such ideas if they are viable. And then for us is to select decentralized zones where this can be implemented as a pilot project to see how it performs. And then later we can diversify into other areas.
All right. Thank you very much. Please give a big hand to the team here. And that concludes the 5 projects that we're working with Rambøll and Henning Larsen since only the 1st of June on these different projects. So they have all been presented with a case and a challenge and has been able to work together with Rambøll and Henning Larsen to scope these ideas in a way where they can also use their educational background and the context where they're living to come up with new perspectives and ideas to the cases. So there we have the team. So another collaborator that we've had in this Next Generation City Action Initiative has been K-Water, looking at smart inclusive cities in the context of Korea. So I'm extremely delighted to welcome the first team up here that is from Korea, Lumos. Please give them a big hand. It's this way. No, yeah.
Hi, I'm Taeyeon Chun from Team Lumos. Today, I'd like to present to you our solar-powered mobility solution that leaves no one behind. Our challenge began with NGCA's Challenge 5 regarding Busan Eco-Delta City in Korea. Technology in cities are getting smarter and smarter. However, not everyone can keep up. We are driven by the question, how can we ensure that smart cities remain inclusive? Our trip to Busan Eco-Delta City actually opened our eyes to inspiration. We met a mother there who had a 1-year-old child. However, one day, her girl got sick, and she needed to go to the hospital. However, there was no public transport nearby. Also, we saw the wide prevalence of solar panels in Busan Eco-Delta City. However, on further research, we found out that thousands of still functional solar panels are being discarded in Korea. This is due to maintenance not being able to catch up with the growing supply. We wanted to solve these problems all at once. That's why I'm excited to introduce to you Lumos, a personal mobility solution for the first and last mile. For inclusivity, we have added a third wheel and also a foldable seating, which increases on safety. Also, we have line tracer sensors and also a depth camera that enables autonomous driving. For sustainability, we want to repurpose discarded yet still functional solar panels to our scooter footboards. This will increase the scooter's usage time, enhance on research preservation, and also cut down on production costs. Let me walk you through the user experience. Imagine it's a Sunday morning and you need to go to the subway station that's 30 minutes from home. Through our application, you call the scooter and it comes autonomously to your doorstep following the edge lines of the road. After you hop on the scooter, it takes to your destination. After use, our scooter returns to the charging station called Nestation, which is constructed by our partner team, Team Kibele. And if the station is too far, it finds a nice sunny spot where it can charge by itself and recharge independently. This is not just a table talk. We plan to actually do this business. Once back in Korea, after receiving funding from our school, we are scheduled to go through a proof of concept with LS Electric, a leading electrics company in the country. Our financial strategy encompasses multiple revenue streams, the main two, which is direct charge from consumers and also direct sale of scooters to companies. We vision a future where our scooters, Lumos, helps people go where they want, when they want, while being green at it. So we envision our scooter moving towards a more carbon neutral and sustainable future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Maybe the team wants to join you on the stage here. And let's hear for the panel jury here, if there are any reflections or comments. Yeah, the mic is here.
Hi guys, amazing storytelling and amazing idea, so congratulations.
Thank you.
I think it's very viable, but then I hear the word, you call the scooter on the app and it just autonomously comes to you, right? And there's a lot of safety issue. How well considered, how viable would it be in the environment you are in? What is your thoughts around that?
So could you repeat the question again, sir?
Yeah, so you say you call the scooter and it comes to you autonomously in a city environment. I guess there's a lot of safety issues regarding that, scooters just autonomously driving around. Have you considered how to deal with that part of the implementation? Or?
So actually that touches on the current problem with shared kick scooters. It's in Paris recently, they actually banned shared kick scooters from the city itself because there was like zero or like less regulations about the safety, but we believe that this is a first step to actually move towards a more safe scooter service because the hardware itself is much more stable. Secondly, the thing about smart cities is that they have sandbox regulations where they're much more lenient on auto driving technologies and etc. So we believe all cities are moving towards smart cities, and by testing these out on the first frontier smart cities, we can work towards a solution where we can build more safe solutions for future smart cities. And lastly, this is our first mock-up model, which has only the basic foundations and technology added. So as we go through proof of concept and more development, we plan to make it more safe, and through talks with the government and actually more companies, hopefully have a more upgraded scooter that can be more viable and practical.
All right, a last question and a short answer, please.
I would like to ask you, how do you deal with the maintenance problem related to the solar panel? So how that is related, because you haven't explained the link, and whether you will also encounter this problem as soon as you already mentioned that there is a huge problem on waste in terms of solar panels.
So we are currently concentrating on the construction phase where we're testing out whether it's actually viable to use solar panels. But secondly, the thing about smart cities is everything can be controlled by a central system. So if we can get more like cooperation from the government, we hopefully can have a system where we can maintain and see how the solar panels are being, their status, and also have a maintenance system where we can actually have duly take care of these solar panels more.
All right, thank you very much. Please give a big hand to the team from Korea. And as they already mentioned, we have been collaborating with two student teams from Korea on the challenge on K-Water. So we're really excited to give the stage to the next team. Please give them a big applause and welcome to Nestation. This one? This one here.
Hi, my name is Bomjun Kim from Team Kibele. Today, I'd like to introduce you the world's most environmentally and socially sustainable bus station, the Nestation. With the theme of NGCA's climate adaptation, K-Water has presented a challenge to create smart cities, ensuring that no one's left behind. Technological advancements are making cities smarter, but not all individuals have privilege of benefiting from them. When our team visited the Busan Eco Delta City, also known as the EDC, the biggest problem we noticed was the lack of comfortable space with clean air and water. People in EDC suffer from poor air quality. Only 3 years of exposure to the air there could raise the risk of lung cancer from 40 to 73%. Also, the summer weather in Busan has been getting hotter and more humid, making it more difficult to enjoy outdoor activities. These conditions have more impact on vulnerable individuals such as young children and the elderly. So here's our solution. First, we'll provide clean air and water using purifiers and air conditioners. If the opportunity arises, we would love to collaborate with K-Water for providing free drinking waters. Second, we'll achieve self-sustainable energy generation. Our brilliant solution looks like sunflower and works like sunflower. The solar panel on leaves dynamically track the sun's position, while wind turbines on stem generate energy even on unfavorable weather conditions. By eliminating the needs for fossil fuels, we'll achieve carbon neutrality. Finally, we have charging options for kick scooters designed by Lumos, who just presented before me. This is the overall structure of our Nestation. We have energy harvesting on the top and purifiers inside, charging options on the side. Our project is not only limited to the idea stage. We want to actually build a real business with our product. Next month, we have a scheduled proof of concept with LS Electric, which is one of the best electric companies in Korea. Our biggest revenue will come from initial installation costs by local governments. We'll also sell eco-friendly tumblers for free drinking water and also collaborate with ESG-focused companies. Nestation embodies the mission of saving the earth and helping people. Our aim is to build a clean and sustainable nest, offering relief to those affected by extreme climate and air pollution. And we firmly believe that Nestation is the perfect next station for our planet Earth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please give them a big applause. And I'll just remind you again that these teams had only 3 weeks to develop these projects together with their partners, in this case, K-Water. Let's see if we have any questions or comments from the jury panel here.
Well, then again, investment. Is there government or like public or private interest in this type of smart solution? And how is the context in terms of okay, you have a company that is interested, but beyond that, like the public sector is willing to make space for this, and the whole implementation process. How do you expect to make it?
Okay, thank you for the good question first. There's two big value we could provide to the local governments. First, we could reduce the energy maintenance cost because we are energy sustainable by ourselves with the solar panel and wind turbines. And second, ESG has been a trend for late 5 years in Korea. So the government wants to make their cities look eco-friendly. So by installing these stations, we could rebrand the city to look eco-friendly and ESG-friendly. That's the value we could provide to the governments and persuade them. And also, after we go back to Korea, after the proof of concept with LS Electric, we're going to contact the local governments. Yes, because it has been a trend for late 5 years. There's a lot of fundings going on for the ESG-focused companies in Korea. Thank you.
Thank you for a very clear presentation. And I think there's a lot of things you can add along the way to the use of this. Do you have, just out of curiosity, do you know of any similar solutions around the world or someone who does something similar in other cities?
Okay. what we found out was something in Singapore and also in Korea, but the biggest difference is the conventional smart bus stations only focus on climate adaptation, which is providing convenience only for the people, but the difference is we're doing it for the climate, slowing down the climate change as well. So that's the biggest difference. We're like focusing on the essential of the problem, not only the superficial problems.
All right, thanks a lot. Please give a big applause to Nestation. Thanks for your presentation. And then we'll run through your annexes here. One of the ways that we're also trying to inspire innovation here is to have teams from a completely different context working on the challenges in another way, using hybrid education and innovation process. So I'm extremely delighted now to welcome the Danish team here, the Busan Learning Lab. Please give a big applause to the team.
Good morning. Have you ever noticed that we tend to place more value on things that we have created or built ourselves? That can actually be explained by the IKEA effect, and that actually was our inspiration working on this challenge in collaboration with K-Water. What is Busan Eco-Delta Smart City? It is a smart city that is built into the second largest city in South Korea, Busan, and its goal is to demonstrate technologies relating to the fourth industrial revolution. Let us now explore the needs of the three main stakeholders that we considered. The first being the public sector. And their main goal is to have an ecosystem that fosters innovation and ensures that the urban development is constantly moving forward. And private companies are the second stakeholder, and their aim is to have a space where they can interact with their future users and gain feedback from them. And lastly, we have the citizens that are the heartbeat of the city. And their goal is to have a livable city that they can comfortably share their feedback in. Now we introduce the Busan Learning Lab, where all of this is possible, and I will illustrate in those 4 different scenarios. The first being, it's a space where the city developers can collaborate and using different technologies show different future scenarios of the city and ask the citizens for feedback. Another option would be that the lab can be a place for co-creation sessions. The lab can also be a place where the private companies show prototypes for the citizens and ask feedback from them. And lastly, the lab is a place where it has a nice atmosphere for entrepreneurs to go to and gain information for future city development plans and also to interact with the latest technological trends.
But what value does the Learning Lab bring to its stakeholders? The citizens have a space to come, meet each other, and help shaping their own city while having fun experimenting with cutting-edge technology. The urban planners can get valuable feedback from its key users and collect data to ensure that no one is left behind. And the private companies can put their prototypes out for testing and take value from an innovative ecosystem for them to network. And with the objective of increasing social welfare and utility for the citizens in the live-in and the technology surrounding them, it can be implemented by 80% public funding and 20% private, and operated on a share of 60-40%. And how to get there? How to get there? We invite K-Water and city planners to ask questions about how to get there. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks a lot. Please give a big applause to the Danish team. Any questions, comments from the panel?
Well, yes. How do you get there?
Okay, so back to the slide. We invite K-Water and the city planners to start reaching out for collaborations and partnerships as of tomorrow. So by the end of 2024, the fully operational Learning Lab can be up and running. And then by 2026, other South Korean cities can implement their own learning labs to ensure a sustainable and smart cities of the future.
Thanks a lot. Yeah? Marina?
Congratulations. And have you guys thought about the physical space where it would happen?
Yes, we have. That's an excellent question. Thank you. Actually, we would present more details at the exhibition. I invite you to take a look at the slides. We envision a lot of circular shapes because, as you know, in Denmark, it allows a better transition from nature to the urban. And basically, it's a very open space where people can just stay together and have the freedom and space to create something together and be together. That's more or less it. But please come to the exhibition to take a better look at it.
So we were so lucky to attend the K-Way to Inclusion and Sustainability talk yesterday. And here we had the honor of hearing about K-Water and their vision. And one of the things that they have is they already have a community center, and they also have a sort of operation room where they use all this data that they have collected from citizens to optimize the way that they're operating the city. So this is sort of a merge of that. Because it's more qualitative feedback than they gain from the data collection they already have, and it's also a community space for the people.
Thanks a lot. Please give a big hand to the Danish team. I'll take the mic here. All right, so the next team we're going to welcome on the stage is from Colombia, that has also given their perspective on the K-Water Challenge. Please give them a big hand. This one.
Sorry. No.
The future of green buildings. A box or something alive?
This is our obsession, and we want to share it with you today.
Okay, we have all been hearing about smart cities, right? But what is actually a smart city, like the future Busan, all about? Well, it is nature-inspired, it functions as a living organism, it is net positive, and of course, it is biophilic, irresistible.
Do you know that you paid hundreds of dollars to send rainwater out of your site?
And then, ironically, you pay to bring water into your place.
In fact, a person needs approximately 36,000 liters of water annually for consumption and hygiene. It sounds like a lot, right? But a small roof of only 28 square meters is just enough to cover these demands, and for free.
What a shame. All these people connected and at the same time disconnected.
Yes, that is called social isolation, a growing social concern worldwide.
For example, in Korea, as well as in many other countries in the world, 3 out of 100 people suffer or feel socially isolated, which leads to serious mental health problems.
So, can architecture deal with social and environmental values?
Introducing SmartBloom, an architectural, modular, and responsive system inspired by the lotus flower, composed of very few and simple elements, like 2 types of hexagonal modules, one static and one mobile, that are responsive to environmental conditions and for collecting water for future usage.
The static model dimensions are 3 meters inside and 3 meters in diameter.
We also have light movable panels and partition walls, easy to handle and transform, that provide vertical enclosures.
The panel measure is 3 by 3 meters.
These elements are flexible and offer an infinite range of configurations. They combined can host a wide array of users, from startups and private companies to the different smart and public solutions.
SmartBloom offers many advantages. It's carbon positive, prefab off-site, fast assembly on-site, ease of assembly, minimum structure elements, it's versatile and adaptable for many kinds of scenarios.
Okay, so join us on this journey towards a livable, healthy, and biophilic future where cities flourish and human potential has no bounds. Let us shape the future of our cities, leaving no one behind, one petal at a time.
Thank you very, very much. And again, impressive prototypes that you have brought with you here. And I know you also assembled some of them here in the late hours. So from our dear jury panel here, we're looking for a mic. Let's see. Yeah, there. Chiara?
So can you let me know how you would implement it? Like what is the process of going from the concept to the potential implementation and acceleration?
Okay, pon el roadmap. There. Okay, so the idea is that the whole SmartBloom strategy will be a reality within a 10-year period approximately. But during the initial 5 years, Busan will enjoy the benefits of the trial phase, where we could see with the community what they need, what they want, and what they think it's better for them. And also it's an association with private companies, as we're thinking of them as our principal source of revenue. And yes, I don't know if anyone, I don't know.
All right. A final short question. Yes.
Congratulations, you guys showed a slide why the lotus flower. So can you explain a little bit more?
Of course, the inspiration from the lotus flower comes first of all because it's an important element from for ancient culture, and the second instance is because its physical properties. It moves when the lotus flower changes with environmental and also temperature conditions. So as the lotus flower does, our prototype and project also does. And also because, of course, it's geometry, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Thanks a lot. Please give a big, big, big applause to the team here. I'll take the mic. Yes. All right, so we got one team left before this session concludes. So I'll take the clicker here. And from Colombia, we are going to go to beautiful images here. We're going to go to Ripple Resolution, which is the team from Ghana that has also been working with K-Water. So a final picture. There is also going to be picture opportunities later on. So please welcome the last team on stage now from Ghana. Please give them a big applause.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel and I'm presenting on behalf of Ripple Resolutions. So I'll start with the word joie, which translates as harmony. So I'll start with the question of, when you start the project, we ask the question, if you are from Ghana, why do you want to design for South Korea? Because you don't really have like the idea of the context or what the project's about. But it was a challenge that my team and I were able to tackle, and I believe we did well. Yeah. So basically, for our project, we designed an open-air museum which enhances the culture of South Korea. So the idea was to identify the key historical timelines, the culture of South Korea. So we found 7 of them. Yeah. Then from the 7, we went on to look at an inspiration for the design. So we looked at the South Korean flag, and we realized there were 3 major cardinal parts. That's the center, which represents balance, then the trigrams. Yeah, so this served as an inspiration for the design that was done. Yeah, so as I said earlier, we had 7 cardinal timestamps from the 4th century all the way to the modern era. So we have each of the ports talking about the key historical timeline in the culture of Busan. Yeah, so from the, as I said earlier, we took inspiration from the center of the symbol, which talks about the yin and yang. So we have that part of the 7 as shading and part of the 7 as form that you could play with. Yeah, So when you come to the place, you have it's a journey through time. So we start from the beginning all the way to the end, and you have the last component which talks about the future. So after going through the experience of South Korea, what do you tend to take from it and implement it in the future? Yeah. So from there, we went on to look at the various species and how we could relate to each other. So we were inspired by the colors from the flag, which serve as the rendering and shade elements that you have on the facade. Yeah. So you have these elements which serves as holographic ports where each theme that was initially stated, the 7 timelines, we have each of them at each point where you could go experience the culture of Busan, because you cannot have a smart city without the culture of the people. People are the center of everything. So in as much as you are trying to do a smart city integration, you need to take into account the views of the people in the design. Yeah. So from there, as I said earlier, the idea was that so the idea was to analyze the problem, realize that the missing element that was missing was culture. So here's a short animation which talks about our work. Yeah, so this Busan, South Korea. So we have the 7 historical timelines. Yeah, then the holographic stands.
All right, please give a big applause, and what a fantastic video. I think the video was running smooth. That was only our laptop that was trying to follow along. In respect of time, maybe a short question or reflection. Chiara?
I have 2 questions, but short. So one is the sustainability element. So can you clarify what is the sustainability concept behind it? How sustainable is this, and in terms of realization, also in terms of resources, energy, and so on? And then the purpose of the exhibition. So what is going to be, how do you create community? How do you, what is the content of this exposition that you're talking about, and, cultural
from the challenge brief, we realized that there are a lot of implementations in terms of technology for a smart city, but then the missing key element was culture. And for an aging population of Busan, you will need to create a space that integrates the people. And then culture, smart city can never be a smart city without an element of culture. So this space creates as a space where the people of Busan comes in, tourists comes in, which promotes the economic life of Busan, the social life of Busan as also. All right.
A final remark, yes.
Okay, and I think you asked the question about sustainability. So the coverings at the top of the 2 major ports are supposed to be covered with solar panels, which provide energy for the running on the space. And also, we looked at using bamboo for the major construction, which is a sustainable material. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Please give a big hand to the team from Ghana. I'll take the clicker here. So basically this concludes the first of our 3 sessions today. This was 14 student teams that has been working since the 1st of June together with both Danish but also international companies and organizations to bring their perspectives on how we create a sustainable future, leaving no one behind. A big applause to the jury that has a lot of teams to digest. And I hope that you will be curious also to join us in the next session that starts at 12, where we will have 4 14 early stage startups that will be presenting their ideas. So not student teams, but actually projects that are already developing and accelerating their technologies. So thanks a lot for joining in, and hope to see you later.